In the desolate frozen north, where icy winds howl across the barren wastelands, there lived a lone Norse warrior. But Ragnar was no ordinary man. He was cursed to wander through the frozen wastes for all eternity, banished by his own people after a tragic battle. His people had once been fierce and mighty, but they had fallen to infighting and petty and Ragnar was the last of his kind, a lone wolf wandering a frozen wasteland, now cloaked in heavy armor, his once bright and polished, now battered and dull. Covered in frost and ice, he trudges through the endless white expanse, his heavy boots crunching on the crystalline surface. The silence is deafening, broken only by the mournful cry of the wind as it whistles through the jagged peaks of the mountains in the distance. The sky above is always overcast, a swirling mass of grey clouds, and snowstorms rage around him, whipping across the landscape in furious blizzards that threaten to bury him alive. In the distance, towering walls of ice loom like the teeth of some monstrous beast, and the ground is a treacherous maze of crevasses and ice. But Ragnar presses on, his gaze fixed on the path ahead, his face grim and determined. The warrior's breath hangs in the frigid air, a ghostly plume that fades into the swirling snow. His long, thick beard, streaked with grey, flows down his chest, mingling with the folds of his dark cloak, the only splash of colour in this monochrome world. His eyes, though, burn with a cold, hard light, a steely resolve that refuses to be broken by the harsh conditions that surround him. Around him, the monstrous creatures of the frozen north stir. Giant wolves made of ice and snow rise from the blizzard, their eyes glowing with an eerie green light. They snarl and bare their fangs, but Ragnar shows no fear. With a battle cry, he heaves his axe, a mighty rune-inscribed weapon that glows with ancient magic, and cleaves the ice wolves in two, their icy shards scattering on the wind. From beneath the snow, the skeletal Draugr rise, their bones clattering like a deathly They shamble toward Ragnar, their empty sockets burning with an unholy fire, but he stands firm, his axe flashing in the gloom, and with each swing, another Draugr falls, their bones crumbling to dust in the frozen earth. In the dark, frost-covered forests that bordered the plains, colossal sea serpents stir, their massive bodies trapped beneath cracked glaciers. Their roars echoed through the frozen trees, shaking the very foundations of the ice. But Ragnar fears them not. With a final surge of strength, he tears through the ancient magic that binds them, and the glaciers shatter, releasing the great serpents to glide through the icy waters once more. For he knows that he must press on, that there is something beyond the frozen wastes, something that calls to him in the distance as the sun dips below the horizon, painting the snow-covered peaks in hues of blood red and violet. Ragnar continues his journey, his form growing smaller and smaller against the vast and unending white expanse. The wind howls around him, carrying with it the scent of snow and ice, and the faint, sweet song of the hooded woman who leads him ever onward into the frozen heart of the north. And so Ragnar, the last of his kind, continues his eternal journey through the frozen wasteland, a lone warrior in a world of ice and snow forever, seeking the vision that beckons him forward, ever moving, ever searching, but never finding rest.